like stun locked at my desk for like an hour. I, this is a really quick stream to. I don't care, dude. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but like, rep league and college isn't a hobby. And, if you play a game for like more than 5 hours a day or more than 4 hours a day, it's not a hobby anymore. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're in high elo on something, you have a decent chance of turning that thing into a more professional career. Okay, I've been stun locked on this for so long. The tweet by I made a different thing about this. The tweet from this guy, okay, this Bob Quinn guy, being high elo and not being a streamer, competitive player, or coach indicates that you've wasted an enormous amount of time into nothing. This is just true. I don't know what to tell you. This has nothing to do with hobbyism, okay? Fuck it. It could be a hobby. You still wasted time. I don't know what to tell you. If you're in high elo on something and you're not using that to like do something else, you are wasting your time. I don't know how to explain this to you. We'll get into the hobby stuff in a second. It's not a bad thing to waste your time. And maybe you can waste your time more effectively by being high elo in something that you don't need to put a lot of time into. But just imagine if you put time into that thing. Oh, guys. I got stun locked by some guy who's sitting here telling me that he's one of the best iRacers in all of North America, or was at some point in all of North America, and he barely played the game. So I think he's just lying because he didn't send a stat or anything. I feel like if you had the times to be the best, you could just send me that link. I don't know why you didn't. But all right, so it doesn't link me. I just think he's lying. But even if you were the best person in the entire fucking nation for iRacing, and you barely put any time in it. Actually, not even in the nation, in the region, and you barely put any time into it, and you put it down and picked it up every once in a while. Imagine if you put like just a little bit more time in there, you could probably be a professional fucking driver of something, like even stunt driving, or even like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to people that like it's not that hard to go from a hobby. There's not a huge difference between a hobby and like a professional thing. But like going from being a professional League of Legends player, right, isn't the jump you need to make. You can just become like a streamer maybe, or a coach, or go into the field of like Twitch, and then, or not Twitch, but like League of Legends, and you become an analyst for maybe a team or whatever. They need that. I don't know what like League does. It's a small like niche thing. It's hard to judge these things. But if we switch into like other IRL stuff, let's say you were actually, I'm not turning my lights, I don't care. Let's say you're actually the best at the iRacing, okay? Why aren't you like applying that to the real world, okay? Seeing how good you can become at actual rally racing. Somebody might sponsor you somewhere, and you could become like a stunt driver. Like, I don't understand how you could just be like, yeah, I'm actually just naturally the best. Nobody's naturally good at anything. Usually you have like a backdrop of a lot of things, and then you step into a new medium, and people are like, wow, you're so good at this. So where this comes from, by the way, is that what people are probably mistaking for a hobby is that I bet you $20,000. Well, actually, people have this stupid. People think that playing like rep or whatever is a hobby. It's not. If you play like rep hockey, I'm gonna use example. I'm from Canada, so I'm gonna use the example of rep hockey. If you're playing like AAA and above, that's like no longer hobby territory. Okay, you're dedicating real hours to that. That is like a priority. That is a main focus of your life. That is not a hobby anymore. A hobby is something you do in like on the side of that. Okay, so your hobby while you're at AAA might be golf, right? That's a typical thing that like golf is your hobby. And at that point as well, like what distinguishes a hobby from a pro sport? But we can get into that later as well. But yeah, if you're a rep level player, like a high rep level player, okay, so like in hockey terms, this might be like AAA and above. It's no longer a hobby. You are on the trail of professionalism, okay? You are dedicating a significant amount of time to that thing, and there's no way you're not. For any rep players that I know, at least once a week, they're traveling to some random fucking place in the middle of fucking nowhere to play hockey or train or whatever. And then all summer long, they're going to training camps and everything like that. That's what I know from any AAA hockey player, is that pretty much year round, they're doing something involving hockey. That is not a fucking hobby anymore, okay? If you're dedicating 5+ hours of your day to something, a video game or whatever, it's not a hobby anymore. You might consider it still a hobby because it's not professional, or it's not whatever, or it's on the same, it's not doing anything. It's about as useful as stamp collecting, but the amount of time you're dedicating to that thing is professional level. It's not a hobby anymore. It's just not. You're in a different echelon of things. And if you're in like League or something, and you're in like Challenger or Master and above, you can turn that. Mobalytics or whatever will hire you as a coach. They hire people who are in those elos all the time. You can turn that into a career. You're just choosing not to because you're wasting your time, which proves the point of the tweet again. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But the biggest unlock was people trying to define what a hobby is. If you want to be fucking autistic, okay, and define hobby as anything that you do that's not professional, you can do that. You're just dead wrong to anyone who exists in the real fucking world, okay? If you go and ask any... Oh, I'm so sorry. I smashed the fucking mic with my thumb. If you go and talk to anyone in the real fucking world, like how much time they have in the day, and like what their hobby is, they're probably going to tell you, like, oh, I go boat racing. And what they mean by that is that they get into a canoe every Saturday and paddle around the fucking lake that's near them, and then that's it. That's their hobby. It's like 2 hours of paddling every week. That's a hobby, okay? And then dipshit, you will come over here and it's like, oh, what's your hobby? Oh, I play 5 hours of League every single day after work. And then my weekend is filled with more League. I play like 15 hours. You're not in the same echelon as that paddle fucking loser anymore. Not to say that that's a loser thing to do. I don't know. If you go boat racing, I don't know what to... Sorry. Like, that's what a hobby is to anyone who exists in the real world. Jimmy, who plays Fortnite for 15 hours a day because he's on summer break right now, isn't a hobbyist. Again, you might be partaking in activities that people with hobbies like do because you're a kid and you're interested in that stuff. But like, I think you're in a different category because you have infinite fucking free time because you're a kid, okay? Or even if you're into college where you have a lot more free time, it's you're getting into a gray area of hobbyist. I would consider what I do with this, whatever, YouTube and Twitch and stuff yet, not really a hobby anymore because I dedicate a good chunk of time. It's a borderline a second job, but I don't get paid for it. It's just something, it's like a project, it's a side project, it's whatever, it's the grind, it's some other thing that's not a hobby. To call it a hobby just either lessens it or just makes every other hobby seem totally absolutely useless. Like, I'm just imagining, because people in here called rep players hobbyists. And it's like, okay, I'm just imagining grandma who collects stamps as her hobby, and Jimmy who's a national pitcher for like the U16 team. Like, what? They're both hobbyists, by the way. Yeah, national championship pitcher Jimmy fucking shits his mouth. Okay, but they're both hobbyists. I think there's a distinction between these two categories. If you're U16 and you're playing rep, you're I don't know what you want to call it, semi-pro, rep. Maybe there's a term called rep that you can use. Like, rep is a different thing than a hobbyist or someone in a hobby. Like, I don't know how to explain that distinction better than, like, there's a unclear amount of time that you're spending that's significantly more than anyone else who would normally be playing as a hobby. A person who plays baseball as a hobby probably does beer league every Saturday. That's more like a hobby. And now there are higher leagues of that, and you can kind of stretch your hobby a little bit thin. And as you're getting older, it's a little bit easier to call that hobby, even if you're playing like pretty high level. Beer leagues in Canada at least go a decently high level, okay? And I would still consider that hobbyist because it's not like you're training every single day. This dipshit also said, like, oh, by the way, guys, did you know that drivers aren't training every single day? They're mostly in simulators. Oh, I wonder where that comes. Simulator, A, isn't iRacing, and B, that still means that they're training every single day. And either you didn't and were somehow at a higher enough level as they are, or you did, and I'm not considering that a hobby. If this guy who was best NA iRacer for Rally or whatever the fuck, if he's telling the truth, I don't know how you didn't turn that into some kind of career. And B, that's like truly the embarrassing part. And B, why aren't you like some phenom? Imagine putting in like a quarter of the time of any professional racer, and getting like all the same results. People would be like, bro, what the fuck? I'm hiring these fast. I don't even care what you can do. If you could do that, imagine putting in any more time into things. You would be crazy good. So yeah, like something tells me that guy played iRacing since he was like 12 fucking years old or whenever the fuck the game came out, and he's just been playing forever. And now he says like, oh yeah, I play it here and there, and like he's just ignoring the backlog of like 10,000 hours he has in that fucking game. I don't know. It's not like, again, it's not, if you play a game, it might be in the realm of hobby now, and you might be still kind of hitting high elo as League, but if you've been playing League since you're like 12 fucking years old when it came out in 2011 till now, you've been playing forever, and you're hitting Challenger constantly now, okay, you are wasting your time, essentially, because it's clear you're just not going to make it anymore. And B, you're just completely ignoring the back catalog of experience that you have in this thing that separates it from a hobby. I don't know what to tell you. There's a reason why people say like, oh, make your hobby your like profession. It's because there's a difference. And if you're not making your hobby your profession in the sense that you're hitting high challenge, like this tweet says, you're hitting high challenger and you're not putting that into thing, you're wasting your time. So the tweet, everyone I was arguing with, is still true. No one has disproved the tweet. Everyone's just butt mad that their hobby is being called a waste of time. And then when I come out and go, hey, this isn't really a hobby anymore. I don't know. If you're putting this much time behind something, it's not a hobby. Sir, it's certainly a fucking hobby. Anything you do that's not professional is totally a fucking hobby, bro. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. It's just not. It's just not a hobby. If you're throwing in like the other half of your life into this thing, it's not a hobby anymore. You can call it rep, you can call it high elo, whatever. Like, again, for things that are online, and I think that's where the big stunlock is coming from, is that these dipshits are all online like losers that have nothing else to do with their lives. Because I think that, yeah, the major stunlock is just coming from that, because what was I? Oh, they go from having like infinite time. So, oh, sorry. Here's like the two things, the problems with online gaming essentially is that it doesn't have the infrastructure of like development that professional sports do. So it's really easy to gauge like where you are in like hockey. Okay, you're playing AAA up until you're like 13, 14, and then 13, 14, 15, and then if you're really good, you get exceptional status into the OHL. And if you're not really good, you stay AAA or whatever's higher than that. After that period, I forget what it goes into, if it goes into anything at all. I think you just continue playing AAA. You continue playing AAA until you make it into the OHL as an 18-year-old, or you're still playing as something else, right? And then you can go into a couple different leagues. If you're in the OHL, you might make it to the NHL, or you might not. And if you're still in AAA, you could, like Michael Bunting, still make the NHL. But you're on a different path than hobbyism. It's not a fucking hobby at that point. If you're borderline in the OHL or playing AAA into your teens, it's not a hobby anymore. And if you're playing AAA at younger ages, it's still not a hobby, because that's like you're like step one into branching into the fucking professional league. That has to be something different than a hobby. You can't just be like, yeah, my kid is the national hockey champion at 10 years old. It's just a hobby, though. We go training every single night for 2 hours, and on weekends we fly over to Toronto from Timbuktu in Ontario, and we train at this national rink or whatever. And his summer camp is taken up solely by hockey for the entire summer. But it's still a hobby, though. Like there's got to be a distinction there. There's no fucking way that's still a hobby. Again, unless of course you just want to take the autistic view that everything that isn't professional is just a hobby, guys. There's no distinction between anything. It's all just a hobby until you're pro. And, you know, the line is money. And we just have a hard line right here. There's no distinction between anything else. It's just a hobby until you get paid. Except for, I guess, for some people, college is not a hobby anymore, but for no real reason. It's just not a hobby at that point. I don't know why. No one could explain to me why college isn't a hobby anymore. I guess just because the word college is in front of it. But again, that's like the point of the word rep. That's what makes rep not a hobby either. So the distinction with league, why it's hard, is because there's no leveling system like that. There's no rep league. There's no nothing for league. It's just play league, get good at it, and then maybe make it professional. So the point of this is that a bunch of people are putting in rep level hours into fucking League of Legends, rep level hours or AAA level hours or whatever the fuck you want to call it, college level athlete hours into a game, and then getting nothing out of it. Like, people who play college basketball are going to try their fucking hardest to do something professional in basketball. That's the point. Again, we're looping back to like why the tweet is true and it's a waste of time, quote unquote, and then why it's not a hobby. You're doing something extra that isn't a hobby. Yeah. Hey, I don't know what this guy's saying. Bro, you're just really mad. Oh, he's just actually mad. Oh, bro, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bring up this like now I feel bad. And then this always happens. Some idiot will bring up his whole argument. This whole dipshit's argument is surrounded by the fact that he's big butt mad, that his hobby that he wants to keep calling a hobby because he doesn't want it to be called anything else. He's butt mad that because he couldn't turn it into a professional career because his parents didn't have enough money. He's really mad that he couldn't be a professional driver, so he has to hold on to this thing like, oh, my hobby is that I'm the best fucking driver in all of NA. Jesus Christ, dude. Because if you call it anything else, he'll be like, "Oh, but I'm the bottom of the totem." Like, if you call it a hobby, that means I'm the best. I'm the best hobbyist in the world. But if you say like I'm close to being professional or I'm in like a rep league, now I'm back at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, I can assure you, you'd be on the bottom of the totem. I don't care. That's useless. Just someone trying to make fun of me. So we can go in a circle again. That sounds awesome. I think you. Holy shit! I think as you get older, you're probably young. Bet you we're the same fucking age, and maybe get good at something. You'll have a chance of change of heart. More often than not, people do. Holy shit! He can't spell, dude. I would assume IMO. Until then, IDK. Try your best to get over this attitude. It's extremely unflattering and very noob. Nice meme. Nice gay little stream. What the fuck? Okay, this guy's younger than me. Why don't you do it in real life? I live in Florida. It's extremely expensive, and I've had 2 herniated discs and 2 bulging discs from a car accident. Okay. Again, right? Like, now I'm going to get into some sob story about why he's sad that he didn't make it. Like, you hear the fucking dads who were like, yeah, I was going to be a professional pitcher, but then I threw out my shoulder. Yeah, I was #1 in the nation. That's what this guy has become. Yeah, okay. I don't know, like, I'm just gonna get a sob story. I don't know what to tell. Like, fuck, this is so cringe. I don't know how to explain to somebody that like if you could become the best at iRacing in like no time at all, just you pick it up again like, oh, suddenly I'm the best again. You know, I'm beating times of professional drivers, right? Like at iRacing, I'm that good, and you're gonna sit here and go like, and you can't do anything with that, nothing. Like A, you're agreeing that it's a waste of fucking time, and B, you're probably lying to me because there's no way that you can have this. There's no possible way you have that capability of becoming the best at something in like no time flat, and you're not a professional at it. And you're calling me gay. I don't. Those things don't add up. Your favorite F1, F2, F3 GT drivers almost all have families that are millionaires. Yeah, except for Lewis fucking Hamilton, dipshit. Or very well off to start their careers. The top sim racers who do drive IRL are mostly smaller level because it's insanely expensive. Yeah, but the point is, sim real life thing is in 1 in a 100K chance. It doesn't happen. Yeah, but the problem is, it's not just about money. That's the thing. Again, if you could show your capabilities to become the best iRacer in no time flat, any F driver team, anything, any race car, anything would be just begging you to join them because you could go from 0 to hero in no time at all. I would be ecstatic to jump into an R4 car if someone gave me the chance. I don't have 10K to 100K to go buy one. You don't have to. There are race things that you can do. Like there's a pseudo racetrack that opens up. I'm pretty sure you can go to Toronto and do like races for not 100K. I think I don't know. You don't need to buy the whole goddamn car and the tires and the trailer. You just, if you can show a team that you're that good at driving, they'll pick you up. I'll run rallycross and open car. Like again, I'll run rallycross and open car in a car I'll build one day. It's my dream. Again, I'm just getting some sad sob story from a guy who failed at his dream and is now sitting here and crying to me on Twitter, and now I feel bad. And he's calling me insecure. I haven't said anything about my life, right? So he's just projecting his insecurity on me, clearly. And he's saying I'm berating him as if he hasn't berated me at all. I think he started the name calling. I don't know. You're extremely insecure trying to find a reason to berate people who are good at things. Whether it's because why aren't you pro then, or wow, you're really wasting your life or whatever. It's nuts. I never said any of these things. Look, and then more name calling. Never seen a grown ass, bald ass man say some shit like this before. It's female behavior. Like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. The only insecure person here is you. If you're so good at X thing, I don't know. I don't know if I call them a dumb fuck first or not. No, it's never seen a grown out. Like, I don't know. Like, it's female behavior. Aren't you trans? Now, again, that to me has nothing to do with it. But weird of you to say that's female behavior, no? Isn't that, like, pseudo-transphobic? Or are you the rare red pill trans person? I don't know. Also, went through my Twitter, by the way. To know, like, what's funny to me is that these people will say, I'm insecure, I'm whatever, and you scrolled through my Twitter to find out I have a receding hairline. Like, what the fuck? Like, by the way, this is how far you have to go to find my receding hairline in my Twitter. By the way. Or did you come to my stream? Oh, they probably... Oh, no, I have my stream in my bio, so they probably opened up my Twitch stream and went to that. Okay, maybe that's more believable. Still more than 2 clicks away, by the way. You have to click on my profile, then the link, and then open up a VOD. But if you're going to go through my memes here, okay, this is how far down you have to go to get to the nearest photo of myself. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going. Actually, hold on. I can't. I don't know how many. I don't think I fucked. I just don't know. There must be... No, there's no way anything's here. Well, I don't know if there's stuff that's here that I can't show on YouTube. I have no idea. I don't think so, but... Still going! I'm now a year in the past! Still going! Still going! Still going! Still going! Still go... You have to have clicked my link, right? You have to have clicked my Twitch link. 100%. Still going! Still going! Still... Okay, we're like 2 years in the past, right? There's no way you're going this deep. There's no way. So they have to be clicking my stream link. There's no other way. Which, thanks, bro. Thanks for the engagement. Most people that play games wouldn't have a family of 6 to take care of and are probably still living at home or have a pretty... I hate you so much. I hate any stupid fucking idiot that says this. Most people that play video games are probably don't have a family of 5 or whatever and don't have jobs. That's my fucking point, you dipshit. That's why it's not a hobby. It's something else when you're a kid who has infinite time. Like, this, again, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but a hobby is something that you can do in your free time. When all you have is free time, you can either take the stupid take and say that everything you do is a hobby, which is dumb, or, because then that defeats the purpose of the definition of hobby. If all you have is free time, and the definition of hobby is like something you do in your free time, and you have, like, all you have is free time, then it's not really a hobby. I don't know how I can explain this in, like, philosophy terms, or, like, definitional terms, or whatever this would be. But, like, what a hobby... Actually, I could just probably describe it. Like, the reason something is a hobby is because your day is probably going to be taken up mostly by work, and then by your family, and then there's a third thing. It'd be like your work, then your family, and then like a third thing you can do. So for a typical normal person, I've already gone over this, but like your work, you're going to take care of your family, and then you're going to have a couple hours to do something, and that's going to be your hobby. If you're a kid in fucking high school or some dumb shit, and you have infinite fucking time over the summer to play a video game for as many hours as you want, that's not a fucking hobby. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. That's not a hobby anymore. When something, that's just your main thing, and honestly, your school is probably your hobby, if anything. If you're going to call anything a hobby, it's going to be your schooling first, okay? If you're putting that many fucking hours into a goddamn video game. Now, I used to do that. I would never call what I did in the past with video games, or even what I do currently, as a fucking hobby. There's a clear difference. I go to the gym every day for like 1 hour and 30 minutes. I still consider that a hobby as well. Bro, I agree. Oh, they blocked me. Cringe. Imagine replying to me like 6 times in a row and then blocking me. How mad did you get after my reply? I go to this is my point. I go to the gym for an hour and 30 minutes. That is a hobby. That's an hour and 30 minutes of your day. That's nothing. We good? We good? Are we back? Did we lose anything? Did it make a new stream? Sweat. Again. Are we back? Jesus, I go to the gym every day. We're hopefully this is not cut up. Okay, I go to the gym every day for an hour and a half. I still consider that my hobby as well. That is your hobby. An hour and a half, exactly in the timeline I set up earlier before, where you have maybe a couple hours to do something. You can consider that your hobby. My internet is fucking down again. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, fuck this. We're just gonna leave that. Maybe gather some. Are we back? Holy shit, I keep cutting in and out. I don't know why. 1 a.m. internet problems. I've never heard of that, but sounds like some amateur young sports thing. Let me open it up. God damn it. I can't. This person blocked me. This person got so mad, replied to me like 17 times, and then blocked me. Anyways, I would assume it's in response to my rep league thing. Amateur young sport. Okay, so this person agrees with me that that's not a hobby anymore. Thank you. Hobby is something you find pleasure doing in your... I'm very sure I'll be a stunt driver. I'm very sure given time I could be a good rally driver. I do not want a career in that. I have 3 forms of arthritis at age 28. I have 4 fucked up discs. I'm on estrogen. I'm poor. I will never have... It's a video game, not anything serious to me. I have no idea what your deal is. Bro, if you're considering yourself the best in NA, it's something pretty serious. Okay? Again, if you're capable of becoming the best in NA without taking it seriously at all... Yeah, I keep falling into these fucking pitfalls of somebody's shitty sob story that I just can't help but feel bad about. Like, okay. God damn it. If you... Okay. Oh, God. I don't want to shit talk poor people. Really, this isn't shit talking poor people. Really, this is just somebody's not as poor as they think they are. If you're capable of playing rally sim racing, RBR... and be the best in NA while not taking it seriously, quote unquote, that means you have at least a decent setup, which is like at least $300 on a wheel, at least, right? I have a decent wheel. It cost me $300. I have like the Logitech, whatever the shits. You have a decent wheel, and you probably have a decent computer to run it, I would assume, right? To be able to... I don't know what RBR takes to run, but usually the sim racers, like, you need an okay computer to run it. If you have the access to be able to buy that stuff, you're probably not as poor as you think you are. Because that means you have a decent internet connection. And you have, again, the capability of doing something for minimal amounts of time and become the best in the region at it. That is some unicorn shit. You should take that, you should slap that on the front of your fucking resume and go get any job. If you have the capabilities of doing that, that has to automatically apply to other things. There's no way you're only just magically good at only RBR and there's nothing else you can do with that. You were magically good at RBR, but somehow didn't make it to college on a scholarship for some like high level thing. There's no fucking way, unless of course, again, this could be the sad reality, you just kind of failed at life. Right? Maybe that hobby you think was RBR was actually just like lots of hours of your day and you flunked out of school. That could be the possibility. Again, I would be hard pressed to call that a hobby. That sounds like an addiction. Now, again, I don't want to like shame this person or anything. I'm not trying to. It sounds like a bad sob story that sucks. And now I just feel bad that we've spent like an hour and a half talking to this dumb fuck. Okay, that's rude. I shouldn't say that after telling him about like RBR racing or some shit. Because the reality of what... So I had this happen before as well. Quick story on it. There was a random discussion I had with a friend that I know in real life about like a hit in hockey. It was a really bad hit that I thought was dirty. Most of the analysts on the league thought it was dirty, but this person didn't think it was a dirty hit. And after discussing a long time about if it's dirty or if it's not, it just turns out that they have a sob story about how when they were younger, this is how they played hockey. You know, they were totally fine with just having their brain completely caved in and having what the hell is the concussion syndrome thing? I should know this. Having just permanent concussion damage, just having permanent brain damage due to concussions, they were totally accepting of that risk because that was part of the game. And if they take that out of the game, it's no longer the game they grew up loving anymore. And the reality of that means is that the argument, they don't actually think it's the hit is dirty or not dirty. What is the reality is that they are deeply attached to this particular type of hockey, and if that particular type of hockey is no longer hockey anymore, it means that they don't have their deep connection to hockey anymore, and they feel like the sport has left them or something. And because they weren't allowed to make it in the league or whatever, they feel bad because, you know, they were good at that type of hockey, and if that type of hockey keeps going, they could someday make the league or something stupid. Or like, because of this one thing, I wasn't able to make the league. Or I don't fucking know, right? And it just turned into some random fucking sob story. I'm like, okay, I just feel bad now. Because now you're just telling me this stuff, and the reason why you actually feel bad is because some other trauma thing happened to you, and now you're like applying that to a bunch of shit that has nothing to do with you. So it's happening here too, okay? Person is really, really good at one specific video game that they play, and now the argument isn't how many hours you put into it. They're ignoring that. It's just, I was really good at this one thing, and now it's the apex of my life, and if anyone tries to say anything bad about that, I have to go to war over it, okay? So I was good at some racing sim, and because I was good at this racing sim, if you try to say anything bad about it, in this case, a tweet about you saying if you're high or yellow on anything, it's a waste of time, right? So that is an attack on their personal being, because they had this thing that they didn't make it in life on, okay? And now that's under attack. And they don't know how to deal with that because they're insecure. So they started randomly calling me insecure for no fucking apparent reason, right? We can go through the replies. I can figure out where I started talking about their thing or whatever, but they started calling me insecure out of nowhere, having no idea who the fuck I am. They're like, oh, you must be insecure or whatever. Okay, that just tells me that you're actually the one who's insecure, and now you've admitted it because you fucking trauma dumped on Twitter about some random iRacing, rally racing car dream you had that is now going to live with you for the rest of your life. You've now become the dad who goes, yeah, I could have made it in the major leagues, but I threw out my shoulder. You're that person because in reality, that dad goes home every night and fucking like loads a gun into his mouth and thinks like, I could have fucking made it, and literally fucking pains himself. This isn't a bad thing. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything yet. If this person ever sees this or whatever, or anyone who feels this way, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm trying to save your fucking life, okay? I'm not going to say just go get over this and move on, but you can take what you were good at in that thing and apply it to the rest of your life. I believe in you. I know you can do this. Okay? Figure out what made you good at that thing. Take it and apply it to everything else. That's what I do, okay? So I was really fucking bad at math in high school, and I was really a bad student overall, actually, because I just didn't give a shit. I wanted to go play video games. But what I learned is that I go, hey, what am I good at video games? Or what do I do that's good in video games? Okay, Well, I'm pretty decent at. I have a pretty decent memory. It seems like whenever I play video games, I don't have to like make a checklist of anything. I can just kind of go through things and I'll remember where things are. Okay, how can I use that in real life? Well, when I look at math, math is just a series of patterns. And I learned and something else about chess, and I started playing chess, and somehow that made me a little bit better at math. But anyways, even though I suck at chess. So I don't know how much that actually helped me or not, but it felt like it did. So take my decent memory and apply it to patterns. Find the patterns in math, take them, and just remember the pattern and apply it back into the math equation. Take this thing and throw it into the math equation over and over again. Okay, and now you're better at math because of this thing I did in video games. Okay, what else am I good at video games in? Okay, well, I have pretty decent response times. It seems my reflexes are pretty good. Okay, well, take that and how do you apply that in the real world? Well, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be. Oh, now you're good at typing. Cool. You can use that in your real world because people like typing at really fast rates. You're now suddenly good at typing. Holy shit! Awesome. That's a real world application that came from me playing video games. I don't know if that's direct one-to-one or if it's just a lot of typing over many years of typing because I play video games. Either way, either one is applicable. Okay, I'm now good at typing and I can type at like 60 words a minute simply because I played video games for so long. Okay, what else am I good at video games? I'm good at dedicating my time to that thing and like getting it done or whatever, however you want to say it. Good at dedicating time, getting the task done. You know, when I was younger, a new game would come out like Skyrim or whatever, a new single player game, and I would beat that shit in a weekend. I would have Friday to Sunday. I would just play that shit the whole time, full dedication, beat that game in one weekend. And so you take that and you apply that dedication to a game and you apply it to your work. You dedicate yourself to whatever task is given to you at hand and you treat it like it's a video game. That's what you can do, okay? That's what you can do. I'm not here to bully you. I'm not here to make fun of you. I'm just letting you be aware that you don't need to let this weird, strange attachment to your hobby ruin your fucking life. You can take it and apply it to the rest of your life. I know you can. There's no fucking shot that you were the best in NA and you can't figure out a way to apply that to the rest of your life. You're either lying to me or we can help each other out, okay? I believe in you. You can set yourself on the right path. You can take what you learned from video games and apply it to real life. I believe in you, okay? Like, God, not to get down again, but it's just the one fault I always view in myself is that I always think of myself, I always think of myself as somebody who is like average at everything. I'm always like, man, there's no point in doing this thing. I'm just average at it. Man, blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay. I only get 75s. I got a score of 75 in all school and blah blah. I'm like, what's the average? I'll hit the average. Okay. I'll just get averages on everything. I'm average. But in reality, the more I grow, the more I realize I'm not average. And I just need to figure out how to apply my non-average things to real life. Some are negative, some are positive, but you need to take those unaverage things and apply them to real life. There's no fucking shot, no fucking way you could be the best at something in an entire region and that has no application anywhere else. It's just not fucking possible. I'm telling you, as someone who has seen people succeed and fail at things, and of myself of succeeding and failing at things or whatever, there is no fucking chance that you could be the best at a certain very specific thing, no matter how niche it is, and that thing can apply to the rest of your life. Your life doesn't end the moment you stop playing fucking video games, okay? I understand that this is truly the crux of this stupid hobbyist bullshit stun lock that I'm in, is that dumb fucks want to take their shit hobby that they think is their entire fucking life and hold on to it forever. And they want to continue calling it a hobby until they die because they think that anything they do is a hobby. And the goal of your hobby is to make it your profession. And so anything I do is a hobby. until it becomes a profession. That's 100% the mindset, is that anything I do is a hobby until it becomes my profession. But that's not true. Okay? You can turn your hobbies into professions. That's of course true, okay? But someone who plays fucking piano for 5 hours a day as a kid is not a hobbyist is not a hobbyist pianist. That sounds weird, but like their hobby isn't being a pianist, okay? It's now a big part of their life, and they can go with that and move on and stick with that and move up and continue to improve with that and maybe go somewhere with that. Or they can think that it's just a hobby and not take it that seriously, and they might have all of the true dark side of the story, actually, is that this person is a true unicorn at whatever simulation racing thing is, and they totally fucking wasted it away. That's the true actual dark side of this coin, is that this person's just super fucking mad that they threw their fucking life away because they didn't take this niche thing that they were good at too seriously, and they didn't give a fuck about it. So I'm here to tell you that if you're young and you're good at something, don't fucking do that. Find something you're good at, continue to do it, and if you can't continue to do it for whatever reason, an accident, you're now disabled or whatever, figure out what made you good at that thing and apply it to any new thing you're doing. Find a way to do it. You can come talk to me about it when we can help you through that. You can go talk to actual fucking therapists that'll help you do that as well. That's what I recommend more. But if you need like a coaxer to figure out like, oh Matt, like what did you can talk to me first. I recommend going into a therapist and figure out a way to apply what you're good at everything else in your life. I know you can do it. Now, not because I can do it, but because I know you can do it. Yeah, I don't know if there's much else I can really say about it. Like, yeah. God, it's so dumb. I don't know how I get myself mixed up in this shit anyways. It happens every single time. Any single time that someone gets like uber fucking ass mad at me on Twitter, it's because they have some deep-seated, like, I don't know how to stop it. I don't know if it's worth it, if I should just leave the conversation the moment it happens or what. Because it just makes me feel bad. I don't know. And now I'm making like content out of it. Do I feel bad about this? I feel like this is more uplifting content than anything. But like, Jesus, it always happens. Someone gets so like hard pressed. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good conversation. Like, whatever. Like, this is going pretty far. Like, man, this person's going really deep into this. Holy shit! And the reason why they're going really deep into it is because it's some very personal thing to them. And now I'm literally personally attacking this person. Not of my own intentions. It's just because they've made this niche random thing their personality. So anything you say about it that's negative is attacking their personality. Yeah, anyways, this is the end of this. Please hit, I don't even want to say hit like and subscribe. I don't know. Just come talk to me, please. Someone wake me up from this horrible dream. God damn it. This is so dumb. And I'm glad my internet came back at the end here. Definitely not cutting me off halfway through here. Good luck with that laggy shit, okay? God, fuck. Jesus fucking Christ.